Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today, we're jumping right into a complete explainer of the Asia-Pacific Journal of Cancer Research, or the APJCR for short. We're going to build a comprehensive overview from start to finish, because whether you're an oncologist, a clinical researcher, or working in public health, you know that understanding how to navigate top-tier academic publishing is absolutely crucial. So we're going to break down exactly what this journal is looking for, how to bulletproof your manuscript, and what actually happens behind the scenes once you hit that submit button.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're taking a highly structured overview today, covering 1. The APJCR mission, 2. Focus and research scope, 3. Author submission guidelines, 4. The peer review process, and finally, 5. Ethics and global impact.
Section 1. The APJCR mission and core purpose.
Before you even think about gathering your data or formatting a paper, you've got to deeply understand the platform you're pitching to, right? Misalignment is literally the #1 reason great research gets desk rejected. So what is the APJCR? Well, it's a biannual peer-reviewed platform, but it is not just another general oncology journal. It's highly targeted. Their core mission is dedicated specifically to the Asia-Pacific region. They want studies that dig into the unique genetic, environmental, and epidemiological factors driving cancer in this incredibly diverse, rapidly developing part of the world. And this brilliantly illustrates the dividing line. On one side, you've got broad, generic global cancer studies. On the other, Asia-Pacific specific etiology. The APJCR wants the hyper-local details, regional environmental exposures, specific genetic predispositions, and local lifestyle factors. If your research doesn't directly connect back to the specific, distinct challenges of the Asia-Pacific population, honestly, it's just not the right fit for this journal. Section 2. Focus and research scope. Multidisciplinary topics.
Now that we know the why, let's talk about the what. The scope here acts like a massive umbrella for a huge array of research fields. They're publishing original articles, case reports, and reviews across all these key areas. We're talking primary prevention methods, regional vaccination programs, and complex molecular oncology like, investigating signal transduction pathways or non-coding RNAs. Really, whether your expertise is minimally invasive interventional radiology, medical oncology, or optimizing surgical outcomes, there is absolutely a place for your work here, assuming, of course, it impacts the Asia-Pacific landscape.
There is a quote directly from their framework that I think is really worth pausing on. It says, APJCR is committed to fostering a collaborative environment for researchers, clinicians, and public health professionals across the globe. I love this because it highlights the ultimate goal here. They aren't just hoarding data in a vacuum, they are actively trying to drive real-world, actionable innovations in cancer care by bringing all these incredibly diverse specialties together.
Section 3. Author submission guidelines. Preparing your paper.
This is the most practical part of our overview. Think of it as the hero's journey for the prospective author. You've got amazing research, but now you have to meticulously prepare it. So the crucial point to start with is this seemingly tiny number, 15. The journal mandates a strict maximum of 15 words for your manuscript title, no fluff allowed. It has to be sharp, highly descriptive, and instantly communicate the core content of your work.
Right beneath that title is your abstract, which brings us to the next hard limit, 250. You literally have to distill months, maybe years of your life's work into a maximum 250-word abstract. And this thing has to stand entirely on its own. It needs to summarize your objectives, methods, results, and conclusions perfectly, alongside 6 to 10 highly relevant keywords. Honestly, if your abstract isn't airtight, reviewers might not even bother reading the rest of the paper.
Then we get to the formatting. And let me tell you, strict academic formatting is not for the faint of heart. Go ahead and forget your standard Arial or your trusty Times New Roman. Your academic destiny here lies exclusively in Palatino linotype, size 10. You also need single spacing throughout, strict 1-inch margins on all sides, and every single reference has to be flawlessly formatted in the Vancouver citation style. You've got to follow these to the letter, because missing even one can trigger an immediate desk rejection before a human even looks at your actual science.
Section 4. The peer review process. Rigorous evaluation.
Assuming your formatting is flawless, you enter the gauntlet. And the very first trap in this gauntlet is the plagiarism check. The APJCR uses specialized software to enforce a brutal maximum similarity limit of just 10%. If your manuscript overlaps with previously published works by more than 10%, boom, it's instantly flagged and either rejected outright or kicked back to you. You've got to beat this digital gatekeeper first.
Let's move along and see how this builds into the actual review lifecycle. First up is the preliminary editorial screening for scope and formatting. Next, the section editor carefully curates a diverse panel of 2 to 3 independent expert reviewers. Step 3 is the core engine of the whole thing, the double-blind peer review, where both you and the reviewers remain totally anonymous to wipe out any potential bias. And finally, the synthesis stage, where the editor collects all that raw feedback and makes the final call.
While your paper is locked in that double-blind phase, the reviewers are grading you against some very demanding criteria. They want true originality and innovation. Like, are you actually challenging existing paradigms? They're testing your scientific rigor to make sure your methodology is bulletproof. They're grading clarity and structure, double-checking that relevance to the Asia-Pacific region we talked about, and verifying absolute adherence to strict ethical standards. To put it simply, the science has to be flawless.
So, you've done the heavy lifting. You've passed the formatting checks, you've beaten the plagiarism bots, and you've faced down the anonymous experts. The only lingering question is, will your manuscript actually survive the gauntlet?
Now, what's really interesting here are the actual outcomes. Once the editor synthesizes the feedback, you're looking at 4 distinct decisions. You could score an accept without revisions, which is incredibly rare but an amazing feeling. More likely, you'll see accept with minor revisions, just requiring a few small clarifications. Then there's accept with major revisions, meaning the paper has solid potential but needs some serious methodological reworking. And finally, reject, which happens if the fundamental flaws are just too deep or it completely missed the journal's scope.
Section 5. Ethics and Global Impact. Scientific Integrity.
What happens when a paper actually makes it through that entire demanding funnel? Well, it's worth noting that the APJCR takes scientific integrity incredibly seriously. They operate in strict adherence to COPE, that's the Committee on Publication Ethics. This means there's a highly transparent, globally recognized framework in place for handling any allegations of misconduct, ensuring fair dispute resolution, and guaranteeing that all published data is totally beyond reproach.
And the ultimate reward for surviving this whole journey? Global visibility. As soon as your page proofs are approved, your manuscript goes live under the journal's open access policy. This ensures immediate, free access to readers everywhere in the world. Your vital cancer strategies aren't being locked away behind some expensive paywall. They're instantly shared with the clinicians and policymakers who literally need them the most.
Which brings us to the end of our overview today and leaves us with one final thought. The Asia-Pacific Journal of Cancer Research provides the platform, they provide the rigor, and they provide the global reach. Your research has the potential to fundamentally change the landscape of cancer care in the region. The only question left to ask yourself is, are you ready to submit?